Hi, this is Happy Bird from happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful little Christmas sugar blossom embellishments. Now you can use these in a number of things. These would look beautiful on journal covers or wedding album covers. You can use these in your Christmas projects, anything you'd like. You could even hang these up and use these as beautiful little Christmas ornaments on any type of shabby chic tree. You just take a loop of ribbon here and glue it on the back, and they're extremely lightweight. And these centers are what I taught you in last week's tutorial. I just used centers that were a little bit smaller than the ones I showed you last week. And I used the same process, and I think they turned out beautiful. These two little centers here, purchased from Hobby Lobby. They have those in the Papercraft Studio. And this center here was just a flat back rhinestone that I've had for a long time now. And I believe I purchased the sheet of rhinestones at Michael's, but I'm not sure if they have them or not still, because it's been a while. So with that said, let's move on, and I'll show you exactly how I made these beautiful little flowers. Okay, so I have some of these white petals left from some flowers that I bought at the Dollar Tree. They have these flowers year-round. It's standard stock for the Dollar Tree. And I'll show you here. Has some glitter on some of them already, but that's okay. They usually come, the flowers, two to each flower like this, and they kind of look like that. They have these in pink and purple, but we're using white because we're using iridescent glitter, okay? And this will just go to show you that you can use the chintziest, cheapest looking flowers and turn them into something really beautiful. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this triple thick, and you can now find this jar on Amazon. And there was a lady in my Facebook group, I forgot who it was, but they said that they bought this recently at the Hobby Lobby for $6. So just going to take a little paintbrush and kind of put some in here like this. You could use a little plastic spoon if you wanted to as well. Okay. I'm just doing a little at a time because I don't want to waste the triple thick if we don't need it. But I'm just going to put that right in here and just kind of stir this up with my brush here. Just kind of mix that up. Alright. I'm going to take my tweezers now, and these are tweezers that I bought at the Dollar Tree. They come in the tool section, and there's like 4 different types of tweezers in there. Okay, so now you see we have what looks like that. So next I'm going to take this glitter that I recently picked up at Walmart, and it's the Sulin brand, and it's called Snowy Surprise. So I think what's happening now is they're just starting to get some Christmas glitters in there. And I love this mix because it's like 3 different cuts. It's ultra fine, a medium coarse glitter, and then the larger glitter, all mixed up in one. You can also look online at Walmart. They might have it there as well. And you might want to take a popsicle stick and kind of press it down in there a little bit. Like that. Okay. Now once I do that, I'm going to transfer this onto another plate with tweezers, just like that. Okay? And at this point, if you wanted to, now you don't have to, if you wanted to add just the tiniest bit of glitter glass, you could do that by taking a toothpick, and if you do this, I would recommend just a small amount. You can take your toothpick and kind of drizzle it like this at the top, and then put some glass glitter in there. There we go. Make sure it's just enough to give it a little sparkle. And I'm just doing it on the petals. Okay. Let's see. And always put your lid back on your triple thick in between when you're working with this, because you don't want it to eventually dry and become thick. Alright, so I'm going to open up my glass glitter jar. And let's see, where did I... So, just taking a little bit, see? And I'm just kind of sprinkling over where I drizzled. And it'll just give it a touch of sparkle. Alright, and then I'm going to take my popsicle stick. Okay. And my tweezers. Shake this off a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to transfer this to a third plate. I'm using plates, but it would probably be a good idea to have a long piece of, brown wrapping paper or something like that that you can find at the Dollar Tree to work on. The reason why I did the glass glitter separate from the Snowy Surprise glitter is because I want to put the rest of this Snowy Surprise glitter back into my jar. I didn't want it mixed with the glass glitter. Okay, so that's the only reason I did that. Okay, so now we're going to allow this to dry, and of course I'm going to do the second petal the exact same way, because we're going to be using 2 petals for each flower. So I'll do this particular one off camera, just like I did this one. And I'm going to put this in front of my tabletop fan on low and allow this to harden up and dry a little bit, and then when we come back we'll just put it together and you'll see how beautiful it turns out. Okay, so here is how our little petals turned out. I think they're really lovely. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this Fabri-Tac in the middle here. Put this right here. And as you can see, I'm using a fairly good amount. And then you're going to take the top and make sure that the leaves are in between each one of these leaves so it'll look a little fuller, just like that. Okay, now it has to have a middle, and as you know, I showed you how to make those flat back rhinestone buttons, and if you didn't get a chance to see that, I'll put the thumbnail of it towards the end of the video so you can click on it. And so I chose the smaller ones, some of the smaller ones I made, and here's the little pink one. And this was a Paper Studios rhinestone. And this was just a little brad that I picked up. And I bought these from Hobby Lobby. They were $1.24 on clearance. So I used one of these. At first I thought they were stickers, but when I brought them home and took them off the card, I realized that they were actually brads. And so I just cut off the back part and made a little button out of it. So you can do this in the middle. We can do this, or we can use that, which would be pretty as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with this lighter pink. Give it a little bit of a shabby chic look. I don't know. Let's see. Or the darker pink. Or this. I think I'll go with the lighter pink. So, I'm just going to put quite a bit of glue in the middle here. That might be a little too much, but that's okay. It'll dry. Alright, and I'm going to set this in front of my fan, and as soon as this dries onto the petals, what I do is, at this point they're still they're very stiff, but they're bendable, and I just kind of move the petals up like this upwards, just so it'll look like it, that it's flowing. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stick this under my fan, and when I'm finished with it, we'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, this turned out really beautiful, and I did move the petals a little bit like this just to give the top layer a little height. Now I will tell you that if you don't find the Snowy Surprise glitter at Walmart, you can always use your own iridescent glitters. Just do a mixture of iridescent glitters that are ultra fine, medium coarse, and a little bit larger to give it some flash. So with that said, I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you give it a try. And take care, and God bless. Merry Christmas, everyone.